Alright, so I got to get a little bit of a sneak peek into Season 2, so I'm going to go over some of the changes here that I think are pretty big for the meta. So in the light class, we have the same specializations as we typically would see. However, we are getting a new weapon, the 93R, which is a burst machine pistol. This thing is actually really good. I find it's like kind of in that XP to M11 range where it's pretty good at like a medium range. However, I find it like the further ranges. It also seems to be pretty decent, kind of like the XP, but at the close range, it can kind of lack a little bit. And you can see here we have level 7 skins, so if you guys have already grinded to level 6, good luck. And as you see here on the gadgets, we have the new gateway. So this is a new gadget. We also are seeing that we have the sonar grenade and we have the tracking dart on light. So this is kind of like you place one end and then you place the other end. So you'll see here in this video. And then you press F to use on it in order to teleport. So I could see this being really good for teams to kind of like push both, you know, safely to escape or to get up in somebody's face as you push for a team. So really cool gadget. I see so much tech with this. You can also throw stuff through it. So I think this definitely needs more kind of practice to get used to. But yeah, really good. So yeah, as you see, we have the sonar grenade and the tracking dart. So the light is now becoming more of its purpose, you know. Typically it's like a scout, so we're really playing into that kind of scout role by adding the sonar and the tracking here. So really important thing to note in terms of how the classes are changing up. They're really trying to shape each class into its own thing. Now onto medium, you'll see recon is gone. I think a lot of people are going to be pretty excited about that. We have the dematerializer. This thing is like, I absolutely love it. I think anybody who has any experience with like Rainbow Six Siege will really enjoy this. So as you can see, you can open and close stuff. You can drop cash outs. You can drop vaults. You can even drop players. You can drop yourself. But like the ability to just kind of like peek around angles with that is, oh my god, insane. And then you'll see we got the new weapon, the FAMAS. The FAMAS is a burst rifle. I'm gonna call it now. I think the FAMAS might be the new meta. I genuinely think this thing might actually beat out the FCAR. I will have to see how it comes on like the live patch, but in terms of the way that it played in the beta, it is insane. It is very good. It has this like insane accuracy, and at range you just absolutely beam people. It's so much easier to hit them in the head. If this thing had a sight, I think it'd be overpowered, but yeah, this thing is going to shake up the meta for sure. And then you see on the gadgets we have the data reshaper. So this is going to be maybe weaker than I'd like it to be. To note, like if this gets buffed, I think it could be pretty cool. But as you see here, you can change the object types. And in my practice, you only get one charge of this. So I don't think it's really good in its current state. I could see this getting buffed, potentially getting 3 charges or something like that. It could be pretty solid. But in its current state, I'm going to say the data reshaper is probably not going to be the thing to use. But who knows? There's probably going to be some new tech that needs to be discovered with it. When I did talk to other people with it, there seems to be like there's more to it than what we've really seen. So definitely a learning curve there. Another thing that I found really awesome was the defib. As you see here, there is a timer after you defib, about 3 seconds until they're up. This means you can't just spam defib in the middle of fights anymore. You need to be a little bit more tactical about it. This also means when you do get respawn, you have a bit more time to kind of consider what's around you before going in. This is probably one of the best changes to medium that came from season 2. And the rest of the class did kind of feel pretty similar, so there's that. Now onto the heavy. Again, we have the same specializations, didn't see too much change there, and we're getting a new pump action shotgun that fires slugs. So this thing was actually kind of like a sniper. The range was really good, and you could kind of like 3-tap people at like pretty decent distance. I did find it kind of hard to aim, and something important to note is that if you shoot a wall with this, I think it takes about 4 shots, you can actually break the wall. So it's actually like a siege utility now. The anti-gravity cube, this thing is like so nice to see. I think it's the first kind of like mobility that the heavy's really getting. And as you can see here, it moves a lot of other objects. There's a lot of tactical play. So I think this honestly is the perfect gadget to add into the heavy's arsenal. This is something that it's kind of needed. It suits the role amazingly. So I am so glad to see this. And in practice, it was really good. The movement is really slow. So I feel like it kind of makes sense for the heavy. And as you see here, we actually have the motion sensor as one of the equipment. So I was surprised to see the motion sensor here. So we're going to have to see how that ends up playing out. The motion sensor hasn't really been changed, at least in my testing. We'll have to see when it comes to the full launch of this, if the motion sensor kind of gets buffed or anything, but very interesting to see some of the changes that they've done with the classes here. It's really going to shake up the meta, and everything here is really, really good. I'm really happy with the changes. Another thing is that we are getting a revamped league system with better matchmaking and everything, so that's really good for all those rank grinders. Alright, so the battle pass is actually pretty sweet for season 2, so let's just go through it. Even like the store skins, every skin I've seen so far has been insane. So we have this sort of like Miami theme going on here with a lot of the skins. It's almost like this tech hacking Miami kind of aesthetic. Everything kind of combos together really nice. We've also got a lot of like new animations, which I've been really wanting for a while, so that's amazing to see. We also have a couple different like kind of karate-esque things. It's like kind of this combo calculator. There's also a lot of like little nerdy things. Like I think this battle pass is way better than the first one personally, just for like the things that I really enjoy aesthetically. And we also have like this M11. Like it's so cool. The M11's skin here, you like put like game cartridges in to reload. It's just like the shape of it and everything, it honestly feels like a new weapon, but also familiar. It's a really clean, I like it. And then we also have a lot of these like kind of retrograde kind of things with the, you know, the old school 3D 2D glasses kind of thing. All the barcodes, the color wave, all this just feels very nostalgic to me, even like these box TVs. So really nice skins overall. We also have some more like bundles, and then we've also got a couple new like faces and like character models in general, which I was not really expecting it. I was expecting to see like, you know, new characters like we've seen with the Battle Pass, the first one, but now we're getting like genuinely new characters. Like they look very different. They even have like different sounds that are like drastically different. There's some really sweet stuff. We also got another amazing dagger skin. I don't know why the dagger gets like all the best skins, and it's like, come on, give us some amazing skins like that for some of the other weapons. The like funny cheese grater and all that. Like it would be really cool to see some of the weapons get skins that are kind of funny, goofy, like almost gimmicky like that, like a pencil, cheese grater. There's like that really short little almost like key knife. Also the like skins like that are really nice with the different like kind of color. I don't know how to describe it. It's like holographic almost. Oh yeah, we also got a Defib skin, which obviously combos really well with the level 64 here. The like TV head guy here. The max viewing. Yeah, really sweet skin. And then we also have a new set of eyes. I think this is something that's like kind of underrated. I think when it comes to customizing your character, that little detail that you probably don't see a lot is really nice when it comes to like finalizing it. This is something, so the devs were trying to use this emote on each other and it was hilarious. The coffee break. Throwing knives again, getting one of the best skins. Then we got this one for all the new ones, these like wave interface skins. It's really simple and clean. I'm like a pretty big fan of it, just for something as like, you know, the first round of getting skins for these new weapons. As you see the new animation for the FAMAS, I am like stoked to max this out. It's going to be a really nice thing to have something to work towards again. And then also when it comes to the contracts that are going to be in the game, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, the level 88 skin, as you see there, is such a good sword skin. I was expecting them to throw something like this at us, but yeah, I mean, come on, that's clean. I'm going to be using this for sure. I'm going to start mastering the sword just because of that skin. It is insane. And then we have a lot of the CNS stuff at the end here. Some really nice animations. And then the end, like the level 96, this skin is so cool. It's like this kind of like hack skin along with the watch that comes with it in terms of the, yeah, like, man, it's just, I don't know. Those skins are really nice. They combo really well. So now we're getting into the store here. So we first have the City Lancer set. Now, during this, we got to have all these bundles for free, so we got to like test them and equip them and try them out and everything. All of them feel really good in hand. And then you can see here this new character set. Like, look at like the hands, the skin and everything is like almost this sort of shiny black thing. It's really nice. We got a new pet, which kind of looks like Wally. But the new skins in the story here are really cool. You'll see some of them coming up here. So this one is actually one from like back in beta, but they added the tattoos, so that contrast Viper. I was a big fan of this actually back in the playtest. I loved wearing this and like mix and matching some of the pieces from here with other ones. As you can see, that tattoo there, it's really nice, just one arm one. And then we get another Season 2 starter pack. Glad to see the starter pack back. Some free skins for those that have already spent some money. And I actually am pretty happy with the choices they picked here. Some pretty popular weapons, so really nice to see that. Especially for the people who have been asking for more FCAR skins. I mean, I don't think people can ask for FCAR skins more than they already have. And then we got a beautiful LH1 skin. You know me, I love the LH1. I'm a big supporter of this weapon in general. And I've been like kind of advocating for it in any person who's been using light. It's a really nice fit. And the way the animations were nice. So this, probably one of my favorite skins from the store. And as you see here, when you change the face, it changes the whole character model. And like, you have that new neck and everything. It's so cool. There's even like a new voice to it. Like, yeah, beautiful set. I love it. I'm going to be comboing this with so many different things. And I think it's going to be like just a really fun one to mess around with in terms of like picking and choosing different stuff. So again, we got another FCAR skin here, a really clean one. I love this almost like kind of hot rod thing, the toothy tailwind as it's called. And we also have it for the loose gun and the XP. So the XP54 has been waiting patiently for some legendary skins. So finally we get one, and this one is so clean. I love it. Like, even when I was using it, it just felt so good. It is like just such a nice skin. It's a really well made skin. It's not anywhere too far out there or anything. It's just really well done. This Lademon or whatever was one that I remember from back. I think it was during the open beta or something. I remember seeing this one, so it's nice to see it back. Looks like it's been updated a bit. Another epic skin line for the XP, the MGL, and then it looks like the model 1887. So this one's a pretty nice one. I like the orange and camouflage combination. I feel like this is just a really simple one that could kind of be good to throw onto really any loadout. And then we got this nice kind of clean, like hot rod looking thing, the Cardinal Cloak. It's definitely a very clean and simple skin, which we all love to see. Then we get this jacket, which I'd say combos pretty well with it. It's a nice to see some more like clean red skins. I think the only ones we really had was like some of the closed beta ones. And then we got this new AK skin, which I'm sure everybody was so excited to see some new AK skins since we haven't got any in Season 1. But honestly, it's not that bad. It looked pretty good in game as well. I'd say for the most part, this would be pretty good on some other weapons, so we'll have to see where that goes. Next, we have these Challenger Circuit, like, contracts, basically. So the way that this works is you're going to be given a couple different challenges. Say like this one, you have to deal a specific amount of damage with a medium build, and then you have a couple other ones. Once you reach the end of it, you'll be given a new cosmetic reward, and then there's multiple pages at the end reaching something like this, which is like an ASUS sleeve. As you can see, it's like a tattoo sleeve of the ASUS drink. Actually pretty sweet. But yeah, as you can see, there's multiple pages of this, and this is specifically the ASUS one. So there's going to be other contracts with different sponsors of the game. So again, tying in that lore of like the sponsoring the game. And you can see here the Challenger Circuit. Then eventually you'll be able to unlock the Pro Circuit, the Master Circuit, and be able to unlock more and more things. This is also tied into like the dailies. So for those people who really like a challenge and having something to work towards, this has been a fantastic update for it. And I'm pretty stoked about it because I'm a flex player and I love playing basically everything. So to me, it's kind of like a no-brainer that this is a really good change of pace for me. I love having more options, more challenges, more reason to use everything in the game. I'm a big fan of just a variety. I love using everything. As you guys know, I'm like a top 150 player that is a flex player. I'm one of the few like flex players. Most people main, you know, medium, heavy, or light, but I just love everything in this game. I love using all the weapons, all the gadgets. I love testing everything. I've been trying to get level 6 on every weapon, every gadget. So for me, these changes have been phenomenal. And even if you're not that big of a flex player, it's still going to be a good way to encourage people to try something new. And you never know, you might fall in love with something new, because this game is just slowly adding more and more and more. And this update is probably one of the biggest updates I've seen in like any FPS game ever. So I mean, if you guys aren't excited, I don't really know what will get you excited. So after this, I'm going to be showing you guys some full gameplay with the new game mode as well. And I'm also going to be addressing some of the meta shifts. A lot of the changes are going to be shaking up the meta a bit. So I'm just going to be kind of giving my opinion on where that might be going.
Single person that runs.
So the first game is going to be light. We're going to be using the sonar and tracking just to try out this new like scouting information kind of role that it seems like they want on light, with some dash gameplay in there. And I'm going to be trying to explore some of the new combinations and new gadgets, new specialization, stuff like that. And then we're going to be looking at light gameplay, medium gameplay, and heavy gameplay all on the new map. I'm going to be kind of leaving a little bit less chopping, like I'm not going to be cutting it up as much. I want to show you guys the full thing so you guys can kind of analyze the map, get a experience for how new this is, along with just kind of discussing some of the changes that have happened to the class, such as, you know, the shift of the sonar and the tracking, maybe even some of the specialization, the new tools, stuff like that, because I think it's important to kind of discuss the meta shift that we might be going into, and overall just how the classes are going to be really filling a role now, and how those roles might actually be shifting. And with all of that, I'm also going to be giving you guys my opinion on how I feel about each class and their strength. So first off, we're going to be looking at the light here. So as you see, I'm using the sonar grenade and the tracking dart, and I'm using these because, as you guys have seen, they are now on the light class. So the light class initially, I would say, is a scout. It is a class where you are very fast, you have a lot of mobility, you have a lot of like stealthiness with the cloak and stuff like that, so you can get in and out of fights quickly, you can get very far ahead of your team in order to scout. So I think running far ahead, tracking the enemies, throwing the sonar grenade and stuff like that is really, really big. And you'll see here, anytime I see my boy Gravity Drop, I'm gonna have to chase him down. Absolutely love Gravity Drop. We were talking about how excited we were to participate in this, so since I saw him in my game, I just had to bully him. Same thing goes for pretty much most of the people that I knew going into this. Even some of the games where I faced Bippet. Bippet decided to teabag me and emote me on about all the kills that they got on me, and I did the same to them. It was just a blast seeing a bunch of my friends being able to play together, so you'll definitely be seeing a lot of that, along with tons of Embark people. So it was so nice being able to play with the devs, talk to them about the game, even get some opinions on how they feel about the game, balancing stuff like that. We get to talk about, you know, reasons why they're changing this, some of the additions that are coming to the game. I'm going to leave a lot of that out. But yeah, so there's tons of stuff. There are such a friendly group of people, and it was just a blast being able to play with them and play again with all my friends here. Again, Courage Drop, I had to hit him with the dip because he's my boy. And so this map is like, it's really well made. I noticed so many of these little spots, like as you see right in front of me there's like these little boxes off to the edges of the building, and this actually becomes like a very tactical thing that I was very quickly adapting to. You can go outside, there's these little boxes you could set like jump pads on, or you can jump on them, then jump up to the next window, and you can really just juke people out. With the dematerializer, there's so many different like aspects and ways you can play around the map. It's this map is like probably my favorite. I don't know if I want to say that too quickly, but like it was so freaking sweet. And then when it comes to the way that they've changed the classes up, it's very interesting. Like I said before, I think they are really trying to figure out what role does this class do and really try to play into that. And I'm really happy to see them switch around like the sonar grenade and tracking dart, stuff like that. At first I wasn't too sure if that was the right approach, but the more that I was kind of playing with it, I'm like, okay, like, you know, this does kind of make sense. There's a bit of logic there, and I'm really excited to see where it goes with that. And when it comes to the light class in general, I had been kind of asking the question of, you know, is light going to be meta? I think the new weapon is really solid, so we could definitely be seeing that a little bit more in the current meta as the next patch comes through. And then from there on, I think some of the fact that like recon has been removed is kind of a big buff to light, because that was like a very hard counter. Even after the nerf of recon and we didn't see it too much, it was still a pretty hard counter. We're also seeing some changes to the other classes, like the heavy class, for example, only has 1 C4 instead of the 2. Nukes have been almost completely removed. Like they're still technically in the game, but not at all in the way that they used to be before. And I think a lot of people are going to be pretty happy about it. I'm kind of indifferent about it, but because of like the nuke nerf and stuff like that, again, light is going to be probably picked up more. And I think we're actually at a really good spot for lights. I'm going to be honest, I do think that lights are going to be meta. They've had so many really good utilities that they've been able to bring to the table for so long, but it just felt, in comparison to like heavy and stuff, it just felt weak. So the fact that a lot of these things are kind of getting nerfed and tweaked has been a pretty good change, I'd say, overall. I'd say heavy is not as strong as it used to be. I would like to see some other tweaks to some of the classes, but overall, across the board, we are taking a really, really good step in the correct direction for balancing. In terms of like content for the game, this has been a fantastic update. And in general, like the game just feels way, way, way more fun. I was having an absolute blast on this, and I wish I could get back in, but we gotta wait. I mean, when I'm recording this, audio obviously is a bit before the actual date of the embargo, so when the embargo is up, there shouldn't be too much left of us being able to play the game. There is another thing that was added to the light class, which is kind of like effectively a teleporter. So you would throw one end of the teleporter, and then you can throw the other end, and you can teleport back and forth between them, along with throwing stuff through it. So I feel like when it comes to that gadget, I was using it a bit, and I think it's a really good addition to the game. I was really struggling to find ways to use it. I think it's a very high skill gap, like kind of, you need to use your brain quite a bit. And when it comes to using like the light, it's very like fast paced, get in, get out kind of thing. So for me, it was just kind of hard to just instantly start gravitate towards how to use it, because I think there's a lot of complexity to it. And I will say, whenever people start getting around to like figuring out tech with it, figuring out how to use it properly, getting really good at it, I could see it being like actually really, really good. It adds a lot of team play utility, like you can really help out your team with it. There's a lot of new potentials, I would say, with it. Being able to set up this really good initiate or this really good escape for both you and your team. It's just about finding that proper team play and playing with your team, which I find the light isn't always the best at doing. Typically, they're better at finding those picks at the edge of the map, scouting ahead like we talked about with the tracking dart and the sonar. So there might be multiple ways in order to play this. You could go with like a cloak and then have that teleport and play with your team. That might make a little bit more sense. I'm not too sure where the meta is gonna shift for light, but I will say it seems like it's gonna be a lot more relevant in the meta. So I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of this light gameplay, and then once the medium gameplay comes on, I'm going to start talking about medium and kind of go over some of the changes there, and again, my thoughts on where the meta might shift for medium.
Yeah, so you understand the plight of our ISPs.
I felt like I grew up with good internet. Reasonable enough.
Oh, I'm coming to you. Maybe that'll bait him. You didn't nuke, so shield's almost broken for you. The rest are coming to me. He missed the stun. Good, guys, I have to reload. Invis on me.
I'm with you. I'm healing you.
He's here. Okay. Hey, big. Oh. Purple should be here, I guess? Yep, here. They threw it, they took it.
They're taking the box. Do you just want to go?
Yeah, we should just start running.
With you, healing.
Oh, there's another.
Are we going to the inspector or should I
Yeah.
come back and play?
Yeah, go for it. I'm on my way.
Okay.
Oh,
I got
I thought
one.
you left.
Nice.
Last is on objective, but full pink will be there. Thank you. The plight of being a thick.
This.
Man, I wish.
What rank are you?
Oh man, don't. I do not grind this season. I want to say I'm diamond, but no, I only got up to silver 1. Couldn't even have the time to make it to gold.
Two there. One absolute. One heavy. That's on me. I didn't have shield up in time.
Oh, I revived the wrong person. You know, just when I was aiming.
Purple's back. I have 9. Crazy.
Get you up, and then I'll heal you. Go for the steal. Okay.
That's bad.
I'm gonna have defib.
I stopped it.
Slow resing on our bodies. Cancel got. Good hit.
Oh, nice.
Go 4.
try.
I'm coin in 5. Team. Pink is out. 2 down there. 1 heavy and 1 light.
Killed 1 pink. Only 1 pink left.
You're alone.
Purple stealing.
We're on our way up.
Oh.
A wipe on pink.
There's a purple behind me. All 3 purple is in the room.
Oh my god, they aim.
2 left on the.
I just heard the guy who you killed say I'm dead. Yeah.
You can get him.
Nice.
Steal! Steal! Oh, nice try.
With fame and fortune on the line today, our
That was an amazing grenade. Holy crap. Alright, so we're 1-1 against them.
So the light honestly felt really good on that map with all the jump pads and everything, being able to dash around, being able to cloak and all that like chaos, all the colors also was pretty good. I tried out cloak as well. So light is feeling pretty darn good in terms of like the meta on the new map. So when it comes to the FAMAS on the medium, I am kind of the opinion that this might overtake the FCAR for the meta. So we all know the FCAR is like really strong. The devs are even kind of aware of it. And I was like, you know what? I can kind of see this being better than the FCAR. I kind of used the FAMAS quite a bit. I even used the FCAR as well. But a lot of times I was using the FCAR. I was just thinking, you know what? Kind of wish I just had the FAMAS right now. Like the DPS is really solid. The accuracy is also very solid. In general, it's just like a very like well-rounded solid weapon. I don't think there's really too many moments where I don't want it. Also, so you'll see me teabag the Embark dev Lamzu quite a bit, and that's because the dev that we're playing with, Vadex, told me to. He like told me and Roxy, he was like, teabag this guy, teabag this guy. We're like, okay, whatever you say. So you'll see me doing that. Please don't think I'm mean. I'm just doing what the dev says, okay? Anyway, so back to the FAMAS discussion. So I think the FAMAS is going to have a place in the meta, even if it isn't necessarily like the replacement to the FCAR. Like the FCAR is still going to be really good, but I don't think it's going to necessarily replace it in all cases. Maybe it will. We'll have to see. But I think It's kind of like a little bit better of like a medium to long range, like very accurate weapon, kind of like where the FCAR sits, but the FCAR would do better in close range because it's full auto. And even a couple times I had faced somebody who was using the FCAR and it felt like they did a lot better at close range than they did at further range, where this burst and like all the accuracy with it felt really, really nice. And the iron sights can be a little bit tricky to use, but I do kind of think that if they put a red dot on it, it might be maybe a little bit too strong, so I'm not too sure where they should kind of like make the balance around that weapon. But either way, I'm pretty happy with the way that it was currently playing. We also have the dematerializer. So this thing, I even said it earlier in the video, it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's such a nice addition to the game. And it's really nice that you can kind of like open up a hole then close it again. So you can do really clever stuff. Like say with the cash out, we could drop the cash out and then close that hole up and then steal it from below. And then they'd have to use an explosion or something in order to get through that hole. Or like here, I can quickly escape and then go for a flank on people and they might not expect it. Although he did expect it, but there are so many like plays that you can quickly make. As you see, he's making a hole there. I think the like quick thinking with this thing is going to go absolutely insane. And then when it comes to like the defib, as you saw there, that change is really good. I think across the board it's really good. It's less annoying to be revived now, and it's not going to be so overpowered in a lot of the team fights. So as you see here, I'm trying to drop it. Unfortunately, it lands on that like little banner there, so it couldn't drop all the way, so I just went back up. But you can also close those holes up, so you can like quickly open up a hole, be able to peek, then close it. You could do this like, you have 3 charges of it, and it also comes back pretty quickly, so there just seems to be a lot that you can do in this game now with that. Even like escaping, like you see here, I quickly get my team out of the shitty situation by making a hole here. I was calling out to them, hey, like I made this hole here, you guys can come watch the point with it. I decided to make it a little bit bigger so that our heavy was able to get through, and I also had a bit of a vision on the enemies. So yeah, this is easily my favorite thing to use on medium. I will 100% be rocking this almost every time I play medium. It's so much fun. It has one of the biggest skill gaps, I would say, in the game, especially on medium. It adds so much more variety. It's such a genius addition to the game. Like, that's all I can, it's just genius. You can also combat other people's dematerialization. So like if they open up a hole, you can close it. So you can kind of have this war, which I actually had a couple times with some people where they're playing above and they're opening up holes so they can peek us, and then I just keep closing it. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. And so I just think, I don't know. Sorry, I could talk about this forever. I'm going to switch topics, but like I said, I love it. All right, so the next thing was we have the data shaper. So in this playtest, there's only 1 charge of it. It doesn't, like, it has a relatively short cooldown, so I could see it being used kind of quickly, but you can kind of change, like, say, a turret to being not a turret, so it is kind of a counter there. My one kind of, like, issue is, like, you only get 1 charge of it. So in this case, I could just bring a goo grenade. Like, why not just bring a goo grenade, and then I have multiple charges of something that can block a turret, or create cover, or open up a new pathway by climbing up somewhere. So in that case, it just feels better than the data reshaper, because the data reshaper, it's like you can change like a barrel from one thing to another, a chair to something, mines to something else, but there are other counters to certain things like that. Like if you want to remove a bunch of the barrels, you can just throw them. If you want to remove the mines, you can, you know, use the APS turret to remove them. You can just shoot them. So I can see it if it's like you don't want the gas to pop. Like I said, the APS can also just remove it by throwing the APS on top of an object and throwing that at a mine or something and removing it that way. So there are some clever ways to use it there. And then when it comes to the data reshaper, you get that 1 charge of it, and that's all it really does in that case. Like if you were to use it to remove a turret, you're just removing the turret and then you're on cooldown, right? There's other things that can remove that turret and still have an extra use or something like that. So I don't know. My thought was like just make it so you have like 3 charges of it, and I could see that being a decent pick potentially. There might be more to it. I talked to some other people that played, and most people stopped using it. Most people didn't really find the utility to be worth it for that. So I'm not really too sure. We'll have to see where the meta shifts from there. And then we also have a couple other like additions in general to the game that kind of make Medium feel a little bit, I'd say like overall kind of weaker in terms of like its typical playstyle because of that defib. Like the support aspects of it feel like it's kind of been taken back a bit. The revolver also feels like it's a little bit better, so I'm kind of happy with that. So I feel like they kind of shifted its focus from not being just this support. Like it can still play support, but it's not, you know, the only thing that it does. And now it kind of has more of a DPS playstyle. Like you can kind of do a little bit more in terms of fragging out, opening it like with this, like see what I did there. Like I ran around, open up this new pathway in order to kill the guy that I was chasing, and then I close it so nobody else can follow up. So there's a lot more of like a DPS attack kind of role that I feel like suits the FAMAs and like the medium class in general a little bit more. Defib might not be as needed. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna guess that it's still gonna be like the must need pick on it, but like it did essentially get nerfed, so we'll have to see where it lands on the full patch. But either way, I'm pretty happy with the changes. I think Medium has become more enjoyable for me to play. It's more enjoyable to be revived. There's a lot more things that you can do with it. So in general, plus W all around. I can kind of see that we might not be like in this triple medium meta that we've seen. There's a lot of triple mediums that kind of go around. I'd still say that, like, you know, from what we had in season 1, it was, you know, heavy medium, or medium heavy was like kind of the best combination, and then we had the triple medium after that. I'd say that triple medium composition might still work, but might not be as optimal anymore because a lot of the power has sort of been shifting around. And I would say that bringing in a light could be really, really important now. So we're getting into the heavy gameplay here. So for the heavy, there's a couple changes that I would like to address. One, I didn't fully kind of experience, but the RPG had sort of been nerfed from what I heard. We also have this slug shotgun that can now open up walls, which is really, really cool. And then we have the anti-gravity, and then we also have some other things that have been shifting around. So let's kind of go through them quickly. So we got the new slug shotgun, which felt pretty nice. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the way that it sits in terms of like the meta. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's too weak. It felt pretty nice in general. It was a pretty satisfying gameplay loop with it. We also have the fact that like nukes basically just aren't in the game. So as you see, when I placed a C4 on an object, like the red barrel here, you can see that it's no longer blinking. I throw it, I can't use it. I wasn't able to use the C4. So when you throw a C4 on an object and then pick up that object, it seems to like remove the like ability to like damage with it. I'm not 100% sure how it works. We're gonna have to see the patch notes. I don't think you can really pop it off until it sort of sits still. So it's meant to be more like you can place it on barrels and stuff, and then you bring them to the place to defend with, kind of like how we have been doing in like scrims and stuff, or even the breaching charge on light. That's kind of how you use it. So that's kind of where I'm seeing the changes here. So you'll see I do it again. Again, it's not beeping. There's no light because it's not active. The C4 is just simply not active because it's on this object. You can see here I'm trying to pop it. It's still red. It took a while, and I think that's a really good change. Like it gives you a lot more time to get away from the nukes, and in general it basically just completely removes nukes, which I would say a lot of people are going to be pretty happy with. I'm of the opinion that it's fun to have them in the game, but the current state of where they were might have been too much. So I'm kind of okay with this change. We're gonna have to see where the meta goes after that. Another thing is the C4s. As you'll see, they only have one charge. You can see in the HUD right there, it only has one charge. So this kind of works more like the breaching charge now, where you can throw it, and then after a couple seconds, you will get it again. And then you can have up to 2 placed down, just like the breaching charge. But I think this is like a better approach. I've been suggesting that they only give you one for quite some time, and we're finally getting to that point, so that's really, really good. We also have the anti-gravity thing where you can kind of float people up. It kind of acts as if it's like the alien, like the UFO kind of ship. However, it actually moves up the players as well, and there's a lot of like tactical play that goes in with it. It's not just this like thing that heavies can now reach higher surfaces, which they can, of course, but there's so much more to it, and it's a very good addition to the game. I'm actually pretty happy with it. My question is like, I don't know if the anti-gravity cube is going to overtake bringing in like an RPG, the C4, dome shield, or barricade. That's kind of where I'm like, I'm not 100% sure where that's going to sit. I don't know if it's going to replace anything. If, you know, the C4 is getting nerfed, maybe you don't need to bring it as much. I think there is some other tweaks to like the shields and stuff. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got to like test everything, but things did kind of feel a little bit different. So there might be a case where you bring this in. The only thing is like, if you already have like zipline and jump pad and other things on the medium class, or even that new portal on the light class, you might not need this in order to move yourself around, but you certainly can use it to move the objective around, which could open up some really interesting and new strategies. So I had also tested the SA-12 because I was kind of curious if this got nerfed. To my understanding, this thing hasn't really been tweaked at all. Even I tried it out in the practice range, and it seems like the damage numbers are exactly the same. So unfortunately, we're still going to be seeing the SA-12 quite a bit. It is still a very, very strong pick. But with this map kind of being a little bit more open, maybe we might see it less on this map. I'm not 100% sure. But I am very curious to see where the meta ends up for heavy after some of these changes, because there's, you know, no more nukes. You only get one C4, so holding a point might be a little bit more difficult. And like I said, with the kind of like nerfs to heavy, with sort of the tweaks to defib, and with some of the additions to light, I think we're going to enter a meta where like light, medium, heavy might be the best pick. I think lights are in like a much better spot because of the comparison of like where they are versus the medium and the heavy. And I think we're pushing a bit further away from it just being about like healing and sustain and that durability, and we don't have quite as much explosion. But I don't know, because like the shields and stuff, like I'm not 100% sure if they really got changed, but like the power of having like shields and having the heal beam still feels pretty strong. Of course, nobody was really using the like meta picks from season 1 because we're all just testing out the new stuff. So this was obviously just a very fun iteration of how the game would be played and not necessarily representative of how the meta is going to be. So keep that in mind. But I'm very curious to see where this game ends up, and I love this playtest. So be sure to check out season 2 when it drops. Play the shit out of this. It is so much fun. I'm sure you guys will love it. And the next thing I want to show you guys is the new game mode, Power Shift. So Power Shift honestly was like really surprising me. I would say that for the most part, most of the, like the limited time modes and the different modes that they have added haven't really catch my interest much more than just the typical ranked grind that I really like doing, and then the odd quick cache here and there just as a warm-up. However, this is a 5v5. The amount of like team compositions, variety and stuff in this game mode is really cool. And then on top of that, you have this payload, so kind of thing like Overwatch, where it's like once you're on the payload it kind of moves back and forth. But in this case, the payload just destroys buildings. It just goes right through buildings. It just rips them apart, and it's like, I don't know how else to explain it other than like a roller coaster. That's like the best way that I can describe the way it feels to be on this platform and just going through the building. Just as you go right through the middle of the building and absolutely destroy it while you're on it, just feels so cool. And in general, this game mode is like intense as heck. I would say this would be like a really, really fun way to change up the ranked game mode. So for the final round, I think if they had this payload game mode, like a 3v3 on this game mode for the final round, would be so smart, because I think most people have already kind of figured out a bit of a meta around the final round, how you play it, how to spawn manipulate. But this game mode, I think, would shake it up. It's a game mode that's meant to be played as a team versus a team, whereas the typical cash show is meant to be played with multiple teams, right? So I think when it comes to the final round of that, it doesn't necessarily translate the same way it would during knockout rounds because there's two teams, right? When a team gets wiped, there's sort of a bit of like a spawn manipulation game at that point, which I'm not necessarily against. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think this game mode being made for team versus team flows a lot better, and it's something that I really, really love. This game mode just, it's great. I had an absolute blast. I was like laughing. I was just enjoying myself so much. Me and the rest of my team were just cracking up about how funny some of these moments were, being on there and having like, there was this one heavy Matt V who was using a hammer. He was like an Embark developer. Every single time he jumped on it, me and Roxy would just like freak out. He just scared the shit out of us. It was just like, holy crap, he's here again. We would always call out whenever Matt was there because the hammer was just insane here. There also like is a very predominant like APS meta, quote unquote. Like you want to make sure you have like the APS here. Turrets are really good. Mines were really good. The grenade launcher felt pretty good. Like some of the things that aren't necessarily like ranked metas became meta here, which is why I think this could be a really good way to shake up the final round. That's just my thoughts on it. Maybe they'll do that in the future. Who really knows? But either way, this game mode is an absolute blast. I am 100% going to be throwing this into my regular gameplay. And if it's not necessarily part of ranked, I don't really know exactly how they're doing the ranked system. I know we had a bit of a change on the ranked system, but yeah, if this is going to be a new addition to it, that'd be great. If not, I'm still going to be playing it because, like I said, it's an absolute blast. As you can see here, we're just like crashing through buildings and you're just in the middle of all this chaos. And it's just, oh, I love it. Just love it. So I'll let you guys watch the rest of this gameplay. There's going to be this game and then one more game. And I'll let you guys just kind of watch that through. And then that'll kind of conclude the video. So I'm just going to end it here in terms of my commentary. Not really much more to say. Season 2 has been an absolute incredible journey, and I am so proud of the developers, everything that they've done here to preview this game, everything that they've been updating, all the new weapons, all the new gadgets, the new like quote-unquote hacker playstyle, new map, game mode, everything that they've added. There's so much that they have added, and all of it is just so well done. Like, just kudos to Embark. Well done. I am so glad to be a part of this community, and yeah, I'm gonna land it there, and I will see you in the finals.
Exactly.
Here. One's still in the attic to the right.
You guys buff sniper at all?
I don't think we did, but maybe we did. There's this heavy
you
on.
glitched me.
But like, I don't know, sniper, like people always hate having a sniper on their team, so it's pretty better.
I mean, if you're good.
Yeah, I personally don't mind it, but like I know a lot of people who really hate it.
I think it's mainly for me is I always get the sniper that does not play with team.
Oh, that's every sniper.
So I think that's why it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth.
Oh,
Heavy with me. Another here. Dead. Sorry, I'm OBJ.
She's gonna leave a bad review.
I think so. How many shields can I place right now? There you go. Oh, that's the end.
This is a sick game. I love this. So
I'm a huge fan.
you know what this would be really cool as? Is like the final round for a tournament. That they just
Oh, God.
That could be cool. That could be cool.
Because
Yes,
I'm not
please.
I think the final round is like obviously supposed to be this big thing, but it's just like we know the spawns, we know a lot of the game at that point, and it becomes kind of weird. I feel like a game mode that's meant to be played 5v5, or it could be 3v3, but like one team versus another team could make that final round way better.
Oh, Goo Gun, I see you. Respect.
Right?
Oh, yay. Big pad. I sucked. We're not talking about that. Nobody saw it.
Exactly, June. A single contestant on the platform in progress will be sluggish. Too many and
Lumska's noticed that you've been teabagging him. So mission accomplished.
All out of love. He's gonna hate me and I have no idea. Like, I've never met this person. I feel so bad.
He deserves it.
I'm on my way. Oh, fire though. He's over here.
Oh, all good.
Oh, I don't have shield. Oh, I'm glitched. Ugh.
Does it move faster if there's more people?
You know, I don't actually know. I feel like it convinces you that it is. I don't know. Oh, I think it does. It does up to 3. You can see in the top.
Oh.
So just
Above us.
I just want to be like throwing by being
Yeah, now it's moving out.
Oh, your goo flame. Here. Absolute one.
I think
Got him, Kobe.
If there was a dot sight or something on the FAMAs, it would be overpowered. Maybe the fact that it's
Oh, fair enough.
You dropped on. Chased him off. Oh shoot, 2 more jumped on. If you hit that gas, you'll kill him. Oh, nice. Oh, I can coin. What? Oh, I'm so far. We're right there.
Well, APS is also going to be so clutch on this.
So that's the internal meta, is everyone runs APS.
Yeah. Makes sense. I was just thinking about it as I'm hucking all my grenades at it. I'm like, wait. They have APS. I can't get back on.
I'll be there in a sec. Somebody pocket sanded around us.
Glitched? What? Who uses that? I'm stuck in the queue.
Look you.
Oh my god.
Nice. One on the back. Oh, you're crazy. Somebody's reviving me. What the hell?
That's me.
Oh my god. Thank you. Here. I'll die. Another light on. Slow rising on point. 3 now, I think. No. Oh, I'm a bit far. I'm on my way. Why am I spawning this far away from you guys?
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like the spawns are a little too far.
Like, I'm on the other side of woods.
I don't know if you guys had seen the Cosmos video, but it was a pretty good discussion about like the spawn system in the game. And like most high-level players kind of understand the spawns and they can kind of manipulate it. But
Whatever do you mean?
But his suggestion was kind of like to make it a middle ground. so that you don't spawn right on it, but you don't spawn like far away. Especially for the final round, which can be kind of crazy with like manipulating spawns and getting people to spawn across the map.
Because I also agree that makes 100%.
I just got hit by 4 of the glitch grenades. Good God. Here.
I'm going him off.
Yeah, I see that.
Wow. Over here. Heavy on. Flame. Oh, I almost had it. Oh, I like the picture I can see when whoever kills me.
Man, why am I spawning on this side every time?
Bro, same. And it's so far away. That's why I feel like they're... Maybe it's strategic because we're closer to their... I couldn't crouch. 1 shot on my body. Jumping out. I will see you in 10 minutes.
Oh, also in this mode, you can switch to anything at any time.
Wow. Oh, thank God.
Light.
That's a teleport. Can you see you guys?
No.
Here. And 1 on point. Okay, there's another one.
Oh,
I need to just stop being full send objective and take a moment. Now, is it wherever the thing ends, or it's whoever has it the farthest?
I think it's wherever it ends. Official.
Yeah, I just died like 7 deaths in a row, unfortunately, trying to get to you guys.
Yeah, I think we got the point.
Thank you, thank you. If 4 people are on it, we need more people.
There's also OT though. So if we get it to the middle at least, I think we win.
They'll be back now though.
Ready.
Yeah, someone has to stay on. I think
I'll
they come
try.
from over there.
Yeah, they are. GL.
Attract 2.
I'm glitched.
Is it
1 underneath us.
Oh. Oh, hi.
No way.
Yes. Holy crap. What a fight, man.
Dark CO almost passed me. Can't let it happen.